affairs, top stories of the day, business, sports, music, and entertainment. Dadalhin sa inyo ng mas pinaganda, mas pinalawak, mas pinalakas. Radyo Pilipinas. Radyo Pilipinas. 738 sa Metro Manila.
Huwag maging backseat driver and be up to date. Latest car news, motoring stories, at industry analysis. GearBox. Ang roadmap mo sa mga pinakabago sa mundo ng automotive. Start the engine, buckle up, and steer the wheel. Car enthusiast man o baguhan, siguradong madaming matututunan. GearBox na. Hosted by Eric Tipan and Nana Nadal. Dito sa Radyo Pilipinas, 738 AM.
Lahat and welcome to GearBox ngayong Huwebes ng hapon. Eric Tipan po kasama si Nana Nadal. It is May 20 today and we are live, of course, on the radio, Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM.
And we are also live on Facebook. You can find us at GearBox RP1. At kung kayo'y online na rin lang, paki-follow na rin kami sa Instagram. Makikita nyo kami sa @GearBoxOnAir. At meron din kaming YouTube account. So, ina-upload namin doon ang new episodes every Friday. So, Thursday ngayon, So, pag Friday ng umaga, mapapanood nyo yung replay sa YouTube. Makikita nyo rin kami sa @GearBoxOnAir.
That's right. Kumusta po kayong lahat? Hope everything is good. Patapos na po halos ang Mayo. At we started off this week with isang makabagbag damdaming balita for all the pet lovers out there. I'm sure na napadaan sa feed ninyo itong balita na to, no? It's about this very famous dog mula po sa Zamboanga. Ang pangalan niya is si Kabang. Kabang, tama ang pronunciation natin na, no? Kabang?
Kabang yata.
Kabang. Okay, Kabang.
Parang I think it means spotty.
Okay, sa Zamboanga, sa Chabacano?
Oo.
Okay. So ito po, kung hindi po ninyo kilala si Kabang, ito po ay isang aspin, isang mixed breed na aso mula po sa Zamboanga. 2013 nung napabalita at nakilala itong si Kabang dahil sa kanyang pagiging heroic.
Oo, ano ba? I remember, medyo matagal na, pero yung balita was that he saved the lives of 2 girls.
She babae ito si Kabang.
She pala, sorry. Babae pala si Kabang. Ang kwento was, tumatawid yung 2 bata. Kung di ako nagkakamali, isang 9 years old at saka isang 3 years old. Ito ay yung anak at pamangkin nung ni Mang Rudy. Rudy Bungal.
Ang tumatawid ay si Dina saka si Princess.
Yon. So nung tumatawid sila, merong padating na motorsiklo, 'di ba? Tama ba? Pero hindi alam nung 2 bata. Hindi nila napansin na may padating. So ang ginawa ni Kabang, tumalon siya doon sa motorsiklo. So nahulog yung motorsiklo. Hindi nasagasaan yung 2 bata. So kung hindi niya ginawa yun, sigurado, 'di ba? Malaking injury dun sa 2 babae.
Of course. Sinamang palad nga lang na si Kabang, ang nakatanggap ng malaking injury, yung impact sa kanya ng motor, malaki yung injury nangyari sa kanya, na kinailangan niya ng reconstructive surgery. Ang dami pong tumulong from all over the Philippines, donations coming in, at dinala po siya ni Dr. Anton Lim sa University of California, Davis. Ito po isang veterinary hospital at nakagastos sila doon. Yung nalikom nilang pera is close to $27,000 at ginamit po yun para sa reconstructive surgery ni Kabang. Kaya po, kung makikita nyo siya, nawala lang po yung ibabaw na snout, yung ilalim na lang ang natira, but she was okay.
Wala siyang ilong, no?
Ang ilong, oo. But she was okay. Sabi pa nga ni Dr. Lim, magana daw kumain yung aso. She became the companion ni Dr. Lim kasi parang hindi na maalagaan ni Rudy Bungal yung si Kabang. Kaya parang pinamana or pinaalagaan kay Dr. Anton Lim si Kabang.
Saka kinukwento nila na talagang naging sikat na sikat yung pera na nalikom, hindi lang sa buong Pilipinas, sa buong mundo. from 47 countries daw ang mga donations na pumasok. At I remember kinakwento nila noon was pumupunta yung mga tao sa area nila para magpa-picture kay Kabang. So talagang sikat siya. And ang nag-start nung fundraising na yon, hindi dito sa Pilipinas. It was a nurse based in New York. So talagang globally, people got together to help Kabang kasi talaga namang very grateful at bilib na bilib sila dun sa kanyang heroism. Yun. So kaya ngayon, na siya ay pumanaw, madaming tribute na ginagawa for her.
Daming mga news items lumabas.
Yes. At saka may tinatayo silang memorial, parang an artist from Davao made a sculpture or is making, I think, ginagawa pa lang na statue niya. At saka merong, I think they got her paw prints and gano'n. So may hinahanapan daw ng lugar kung saan ilalagay yun.
Sabay daw sabi ni Dr. Lim, siya yung taga-alaga nga ni Kabang up until her last day. Sabi ni Dr. Lim, yung dog statue daw na pinagawa ng pamilya ay i-erect daw sa Rosaler T. Lim Boulevard sa somewhere in Zamboanga.
Meron na pala. Oo, at ang artist na gumawa ay somebody from Davao. Ang pangalan ay Kublai Milan. So, yun. This reminds me of, di ba parang meron din ganyan sa Japan? Parang sikat na statue.
Yung Akita
Shibuya Station.
Sa Shibuya.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes, Hachiko.
Chiko,
yan.
may statue rin siya doon.
Oo, I think yun naman kasi very loyal siya dun sa may-ari sa kanya. So ngayon, itong memorial natin kay Kabang is gonna be the first, I think, in the country. Wala pa tayong, So, yun. So ngayon, this is also GearBox May to paying tribute to the heroism of Kabang. Tapos ang ganda ng timing. Kasi May 20 is National Rescue Dog Day.
That's right. At kung hindi niyo po alam kung anong National Rescue Dog Day, it's a day commemorating our four-legged friends, man's best friend. Ang tawag nga sa kanila, no? And it's a plea, ipapanawagan itong araw na to, National Rescue Dog Day. Panawagan sa mga tao na instead of buying a dog, why don't you go to shelters and adopt a dog? Kasi ang dami pong nane-neglect na mapag-iwanan ng mga aso, mga owners na who didn't do yung due diligence, hindi nag-research tungkol sa asong binili nila or balak nilang bilhin, and then pagdating sa kanila, hindi pala ganun yung personality na hinahanap nila sa aso, papabayaan, ipapamigay, or bibigay sa shelter. At yung iba naman po, siguro nagbago ang plano, lilipat, pupunta sa mas maliit na bahay, ibang apartment, and no space, mga ganung sitwasyon. So dogs are being left behind. Kaya itong mga asong to, nire-rescue po ito ng mga shelters, and they are also now asking everyone around the world. Kaya nga it's a currently parang US celebration to, no? But we usually adopt things like this. So yun nga ang panawagan nila na instead of buying a dog, why not visit shelters and baka makita mo yung the perfect pet for you right there.
Oo. Tapos kung yung isa pang mga problema ng mga owners minsan is ang cute-cute kasi pag napapanood mo yung mga video, di ba? Pag nakikita mo yung mga pictures, yan, isa ako sa gano'n, di ba? Pero parang pag nakuha mo na, it's a huge responsibility and commitment. So kaya minsan napapabayaan. There was an episode before on GearBox na we mentioned one of these shelters,
That's
yung
right.
Caution Project, di ba?
That's
So
right.
you guys can look them up. Pwede kayong mag-adopt doon. Kung di pa kayo handa mag-adopt, pwede kayong tumulong sa kanila. Pwede kayong mag-donate ng pera, ng pagkain, or even your time. Di ba? Pwede kayong dinis doon or spend time with the dogs. Hindi ko lang alam ngayon kung ano yung mga patakaran because of the pandemic. Yun. So there are a lot of things that we can do for rescue dogs. Hindi kailangang yung binibili na mga, yung binibreed, ganyan, di ba?
Mahal pa man din ng mga aso ngayon. I was just looking at some dog breeds and prices kanina, and wow! Yung dating mga 25,000, ngayon nasa mga 45, 50 na. Ang laki ng tinaas ng mga presyo ng mga breeds ngayon, yung mga popular breeds ng aso. So again, if you're thinking of buying one, here's a suggestion from us from Gearbox: adopt a dog, rescue a dog from a shelter, because they need the kind of loving that you want to share. Okay.
Great companies, di ba?
For sure.
Yun nga, baka i-rescue pa kayo from danger, kagaya ng ginawa ni Kabang.
You never know. Kaya give these animals a chance, because I'm sure one of the yung kind of pet that you're looking for is just right there. It's out there in one of the shelters. All right. It's going to be a big show today. We're going to be talking about na-tease na po natin to sa ating Facebook site. We're going to talk about the new model na inilabas ng Honda just a few weeks ago. At mamaya po, we're going to talk about wellness and talk about health, a little bit of yoga. Kaya kung iyan po ang inyong exercise or wellness parang therapy of choice, you'll be interested to find out what it's all about later on in the show. So stick around, because more Gearbox will be back right after these.
Turn up the headlines. Tumutok na sa Gearbox dito sa Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM.
#ID natin ang ID ng Pilipino. Ano ang mga benepisyo ng pagpaparehistro sa Philippine Identification System o PhilSys? Kabilang sa mga benepisyo mula sa PhilSys ay ang mas maginhawa at mabilis na pakikipagtransaksyon sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno at sa pribadong sektor. Panukala rin ng Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas o BSP na ang PhilID ay maaaring tanggapin na requirement sa pagbubukas ng bank account o e-money account. Dahil dito, mapapadali ang pag-access ng ating mga kababayan sa basic banking services. #ID natin ang ID ng Pilipino.
Isang paalala mula sa PSA, PCOO at ng himpilang ito.
Kasalukuyang mang nasa clinical trial, gamot na ivermectin ay may permisong gamitin sa pasyenteng tinamaan ng COVID-19.
Allowed naman po yan, basta nabigyan po ng approval ng ating Food and Drug Administration, yung ospital at yung mga doktor na pwede pong gumamit ito under compassionate use.
Eksperto, binigyang linaw ang tungkol sa compassionate use na ito.
Ang compassionate use ay binibigay lang ng FDA habang itong produkto po ay wala pang registration sa ating bansa.
Kasabay nito, resulta ng pag-aaral sa ivermectin ay hinihintay pa rin.
Maganda po na magkaroon tayo ng karanasan para makita po natin na tayo ba ay paano mag-respond sa gamot na ito. Meron ba tayong mga side effect na maaaring hindi nakita sa ibang bansa. Maganda po yun na impormasyon na pwedeng maging resulta ng pag-aaral na ito.
Kailan kaya mabibigyang konklusyon ang bunga ng clinical trial? Igagawad ba ng FDA ang permanenteng pahintulot sa paggamit ng ivermectin para sa mga pasyenteng may COVID-19? Sabay-sabay nating sundan ang mga susunod na kaganapan. Aktibo sa pag-uulat. Radyo Pilipinas.
Sinovac, ang unang bakunang nakarating sa bansa. Dito'y marami pa ang may pangamba at pagpapabakuna ay palak na ipagpaliban muna. Kaya naman, ilan sa ating mga doctors and nurses, isa-isa nang nagpaturok para patunayang kaligtasan at hindi banta sa kalusugan ang bakunang ito.
Doon po sa akin sa PGH, medyo mukhang dumami po talaga after the second day. Siguro hinintay din nila kami magpapakuna ni Director Gap. Ako po kasi dating director din ako ng PGH. Tapos kasama namin yung mga ibang mga doktor po, no? Nakasamahan namin na ibang specialist doon sa PGH ang nagpapakuna on the first day. At nakita naman nila na wala naman pong hindi kanais-nais na nangyari sa amin. At hopefully, makadagdag po ito ng konti, no? Sa confidence ng ating mga kasamahan.
Patuloy pa rin namang ipinapaliwanag ng mga eksperto na ang bawat bakuna ay sinusuring mabuti bago mapayagang magamit at iturok sa publiko.
Ang pagkakaroon po ng bakuna ay hindi simpleng bagay. Marami pong pinagdaanan po at marami pong eksperto ang tumingin bago po maglabas ng desisyon ng ating FDA. So napakalaki po na aking kumpiyansa na basta po aprobado ng ating FDA, ito po ay siguradong mabisa, ligtas, at may kalidad. Kaya kailangan po tayo bilang mga mamamayan, lalong-lalo na yung mga at risk po, katulad ng healthcare workers, ang mga may edad na ang iba pang sakit, kung mabigyan po tayo ng oportunidad na bigyan ng bakuna, tanggapin po natin. Dahil ito po ay ating pagkakataon upang sa lalong madaling panahon, tayo po ay mabigyan ng proteksyon. Hindi lang po lamang sa infeksyon, kundi pati po sa simptomas, sa severe disease, sa hospitalisasyon, at wag naman po ipahintulot kahit po sa pagkamatay.
Kaya pawiin ang pangamba. Sa mga tamang impormasyon at balita lamang maniwala. Res Bakuna. Sama-sama tayo sa Vida Vaccination.
Isang mensahe mula sa DOH, KBP, PCOO, Philippine Broadcasting Service, Radyo Pilipinas, Republika FM1, Capital FM2, at Integrated News Team.
Ang nanay ko, doktor.
Si tatay ay nagtatrabaho bilang pulis.
Ang ina ko ay isang pharmacist. Akong amay, usa ka nurse.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Araw-araw nilang nilalagay ang kanilang buhay sa peligro. Sa ngalan ng serbisyo, hindi lang para sa mga mahal nila sa buhay, kundi para sa ating lahat. Kaya't sa ating mga Filipino frontliners, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat. Lahat kami ay saludo at sumusuporta sa inyo.
Isang paalala mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service. Sa panahon ng COVID-19, lahat tayo ay nagtutulungan. Araw-araw ay itinataya ng ating magigiting na frontliners ang kanilang buhay sa ngalan ng serbisyo. Samantalang sinisigurado naman ng ating national government na mabigyan ng pagkain at non-food essentials ang mga lubos na nangangailangan. Kaya tayong nasa bahay, let's do our part to flatten the curve. Ugaliing maghugas ng kamay, panatilihin ang malusog at malinis na pangangatawan, at manatili sa ating mga tahanan. Isang paalala mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service.
#ID natin ang ID ng Pilipino. Sino ang pwedeng magparehistro sa Philippine Identification System o PhilSys? Ang PhilSys ay nakalaan para sa lahat ng mga Pilipino. Nakapagtala ang PSA ng 10.5 milyong Pilipino na nakakumpleto sa Step 1 registration noong 2020. Ito ay na-implement sa 32 provinces na may mababang COVID-19 active cases. Ngayong 2021, sisimula na ang Step 2 sa mga tapos na mag-register sa Step 1 sa lahat ng mga probinsya. #ID natin ang ID ng Pilipino.
Isang paalala mula sa PSA, PCOO at ng himpilang ito.
Bilang ng COVID cases sa bansa, hindi pa rin bumababa. Mga bakuna para sa mamamayan, hindi pa rin sapat para sa lahat. Pero muli, pamahalaan ay nagpaalala, walang maiiwan, walang papabayaan.
Do not be afraid. Government is working. Government is busy doing everything, not nothing. Government is trying to get the things to fix all of us.
Kapasidad ng mga ospital lalong pinapalakas. Mas maraming COVID vaccines darating sa mga susunod na buwan. Kalaban ay hindi man nakikita, pero sa pagtutulungan at pagsama-sama ay malalampasan din itong pandemya.
Talagang kakaiba po itong bagong virus ito. Talagang binulaga po tayo ngayon. Pero siguro sa tamang pagtutulungan ng mga alkalde, ng mga mamayan at ng nasyonal na pamahalaan, talagang wala pong imposible.
Para sa tamang balita at impormasyon, Radyo Pilipinas.
#ID natin ang ID ng Pilipino. Ano ang minimum age para makapag-apply sa Philippine Identification System o PhilSys? Walang minimum age na pag-apply sa PhilSys dahil ito ay para sa lahat ng Pilipino. #ID natin ang ID ng Pilipino.
Isang paalala mula sa PSA, PCOO at ng himpilang ito. Sa patuloy na pagkalat ng COVID-19, narito ang ilang impormasyon tungkol sa social distancing. Sa community quarantine, nililimitahan ang paggalaw ng mga tao. Ganito rin ang sitwasyon sa sektor ng transportasyon, subalit patuloy ang biyahe ng cargo at delivery. Ipinagbabawal naman ang pagtitipon-tipon sa isang lugar. Suspendido rin ang klase at ibang aktibidad sa loob ng isang buwan. Ipinapatupad din ang flexible working hours sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno at hinihimok din ang mga pribadong kumpanya na gawin din ito. Sa panahong ito, hinihikayat ang lahat na panatilihin ang layong 1 metro o 1 dipa mula sa mga tao sa inyong paligid. Labanan ng virus, pigilan ang pagkalat, puksain ang COVID-19. Isang paalala mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service.
Lubos na naiintindihan ng pamahalaan ang hirap na pinagdadaanan ng ating mga OFWs bago makauwi sa kani-kanilang pamilya dahil sa pandemya. Kaya nais natin kapag sila ay umuwi sa kanilang mga mahal sa buhay ay siguradong ligtas sila mula sa COVID-19.
We recognize also that quarantine is really one way to prevent the spread of the virus. And considering that this virus has a pre-symptomatic case na kahit wala pang symptom, pwede na siyang makahawak. Kaya that is the basis for the 14 days.
Kung kaya bilang ng araw ng quarantine ay kailangang sapat at striktong masunod para maprotektahan ang sarili, pamilya at ang komunidad.
Yung incubation period is 5 to 14 days. Ang pinaka-infectious period is yung 5 to 7 days. And that was the basis of testing at the 5th day.
Sa pandemyang ito, lahat ay apektado. Pero sa ating pagkakaisa, makakatawid rin tayo basta't sama-sama. Kaya natin to. Isang mensahe mula sa Radyo Pilipinas. Mag-iisang taon buhat nang ang gobyerno ay magdeklara ng quarantine dahil sa pandemya.
Community quarantine is hereby imposed.
Pamala ay pinagsumikapang punan ang pangangailangan ng buong bayan.
I issued an order in implementing the Bayanihan to Heal as One Act.
Maraming naging pagsubok, ngunit nananatiling nakatayo. At ngayon, kislap ng pag-asa ang hatid ng bakuna.
Today we make another step towards an ongoing fight against COVID-19 as we receive 600,000 CoronaVac doses.
We heal as one. Ito na ang simula. Sama-samang babangon mula sa krisis pangkalusugan. Katuwang ang pamalaan, tayo'y tutungo sa maganda't ligtas na bukas.
Let us demonstrate unity in our shared task of nation building and healthier society of every Filipino.
Isang mensahe ng pag-asa mula sa Philippine Broadcasting Service at Radyo Pilipinas.
Itodo na ang silinyador, forward, and speed up with Gearbox sa Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM.
Magandang hapon sa inyo lahat and welcome back to Gearbox 524 na po. And we are live on the radio, Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM, and live din po tayo sa Facebook via Gearbox RP1 at Radyo Pilipinas 1 o Radyo Pilipinas 1. Eric Tipan kasama si Nana Nadal. At nabanggit na po natin na sa teaser natin kanina, Honda just launched the all-new Honda City Hatchback. At para pag-usapan yan at alamin kung ano nga ba itong hatchback ng or hatchback form ng City, makakausap po natin mula sa kanyang work from home station si Maiko Villa, Product Planning Section Manager ng HCPI or Honda Cars Philippines Incorporated. Magandang hapon, Maiko. Thank you for being here with us.
Good afternoon, Sir Eric, Ms. Nana, and everyone po. Good afternoon and thank you po for having me here.
I'm sure very exciting times ito para sa inyo, Maiko, no? Because this is the first City hatchback mula nung second generation na City na lumabas noong 1994. And now, itong generation to, seventh na to eh. So, may nakadaan na halos 5 generation ng City na walang hatchback version. Ngayon, binalik ninyo, no? And ano ba yung idea behind the City hatchback form at bakit naisipan ng Honda na ibalik ito in 2021?
Okay. For the City po, it has been known in the Philippines as a sedan version, no? So the idea of expanding it to a hatchback form is one of our objectives kasi po is to improve or parang to further enhance its nameplate here in the Philippines. And aside from that po, I think you've been reading news din po about we are streamlining our operations globally. So internally po kasi within Honda, we consider the Jazz and the City as totally different models. So with that po, as you know, in other countries, may select countries lang na nag-release ng 4th generation Jazz. While in the Philippines po, or majority in the Asia-Oceania, mas efficient in terms of development kasi the City 4-door and 5-door shares around 80% common parts. Comparing it with the Jazz, mas efficient po siya in terms of development. So it could really help us in bringing the cost down and setting the ideal price. So aside from catering the market needs for or talagang yung parang looking for a hatchback or a new model in the hatchback category, combining all those factors po, that's the main reason why we have decided to bring in the City hatchback.
Okay.
Teka lang. So since na-mention mo na rin yung Jazz, Bago natin pag-usapan ng todo-todo yung city, kasi hindi ko na mapigilan eh. Honda, salamat sa birthday cake pero okay, so you mentioned the jazz. So ngayon, you brought in this City Hatchback. Pero meron kayong tinanggal, di ba? Meron kayong tatanggalin na ito nga yung jazz. Ikaw nga magsabi para ma-accept ko na. Hindi ko matanggap eh.
Bibigyan ko lang ng konting background to because si Nana has dalawang jazz ang pinagdaanan mo, no? Dalawang models ng jazz, correct?
Oh,
so napamahal.
Three generations, di ba? So second generation and the third generation, I have it.
So napamahal kay Nana yung nameplate na jazz. And I'm sure to many other people. Ako, I've been through several launches ng jazz sa Pilipinas as a motoring journalist. And you know, one of the things people really appreciated about the jazz was the design, yung pagiging compact niya. I know it's a term na palaging binabato sa lahat ng maliliit na sasakyan, no? But iba eh, the way the jazz moves in the city, the way the jazz drives, tapos yung kanyang versatility.
Sinasabi ni Eric.
Yung kanyang versatility, ay ibang klase talaga. I remember yung latest jazz, meron silang ULTR, yung utility long tall refresh modes and all that. So talagang it became better and a better version of itself each and every generation, which you can't say about other cars, other nameplates, other models. Yung iba nagbabago lang talaga na itsura. But the jazz really has become a better version of itself every generation. Kaya I'm sure hindi lang si Nanay nakakaramdam nito. There are a lot of listeners. Jazz. Sorry, Maiko, malalim yung pagka-setup ko, kaya marami ka sasagutin. But yun talaga, I mean, jazz is a really popular, I mean, to call it popular doesn't even begin to describe yung status ng jazz sa Pilipinas. So, kaya nga kailangan namin itanong kay Maiko. Kasi the jazz, the news about the jazz being discontinued came just a few weeks before the announcement na ilalabas yung City Hatchback. So, Maiko, take it away.
Definitely,
so,
we got
compact,
a lot of...
it is compact, but it's super spacious. So, ang tawag ko nga sa jazz is that it's a disguised truck. Kunwari lang siya na maliit na kotse, pero sa totoo lang, truck siya.
Very roomy. Yes, definitely po. We got a lot of feedback, same with Miss Nana, na talagang very disheartened about the discontinuation. And even us, actually. And we really understand. Pero kahit ganon, the City Hatchback inherits some of the well-loved features of the jazz. As Sir Eric mentioned earlier, it has the ULTR seats, so it's still very versatile and very spacious inside. So with the Ultra seats kasi, you have the utility mode where you can fold the seats flat para kasya lahat ng cargo items when you're moving back and forth. And then you have the long mode where you can store long items such as surfboard if pwede na ulit mag-travel to the beach, mag-surf. And then tall mode para sa mga tall items like yung mga nauso ngayon, 'di ba? Yung mga plantitos and plantitas. So sobrang kasya yan. And then the refresh mode, syempre, if you want to rest. I'm sure Miss Nana enjoyed it sa second and third generation niya. So yeah, we really understand. And talagang may cult following si jazz. So we hope na syempre, eventually, this cult following will shift to the City Hatchback. So, as I've mentioned before, it's a culmination of different factors. Parang we have to look at it from not just on a national scale here in the Philippines, but we're also considering the regional and global development. So, we're closely coordinating with our counterparts in different countries to really come up with a conclusion what's more efficient. And of course, syempre, ano ba yung parang would bring the most efficient cost and price together with the features. So, complete package yung tinitignan. So with that, the conclusion was to launch the City Hatchback in the Philippines and the 4th generation Fit in the other countries.
Oh, Fit na nga pala tawag sa kanya. It's a Fit or Jazz Fit ng tawag sa ibang markets.
City ba? City. Kasi dati, Aria yan eh.
Yeah.
Oo, sa ibang countries.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know what it's called in other
But
countries.
tanong ko lang, Maiko, no? How hard was the deliberation na tanggalin na natin yung I mean, Was it mahaba ba? Matagal?
Sabihin nyo namang nahirapan kayo.
Matagal ba yung deliberation?
Matagal and sobrang mahirap. It really takes years to develop and really study. Talagang binabantayan all markets. We're continuously studying. Parang talo pa yung thesis, to be honest. Talagang bakbakan yung parang presentations. And of course, we're trying to look at it not just on a parang perspective ng country natin, but of course we have to zoom out to other countries as well. Pero yun, that's the parang bigger picture. Pero yeah, nahirapan din kami.
And it's painful for because we were fortunate enough to be able to see yung latest generation fit or jazz ng 2019 Tokyo Motor Show. So maraming nakakita na motoring journalists, they were thinking, uy, kailan kaya darating sa Pilipinas to? And then yung mga dumating just 2 years after.
Pinapangarap ko nga yung hybrid jazz, diba? So parang yun na yung next ko na goal.
Sabi ni Maiko,
always a white jazz eh. My first jazz is white, the second was also white. So parang actually, parang daw nagpalit ng kotse.
May white naman daw yata na hatchback na na City.
Meron. We have platinum white.
Yeah, makagano na lang. Pero kasi before I got the 2 jazzes, City yung kotse ko. So nauna naman ako mag-see. So,
pwede naman
hindi na
po.
lang sinasabi ko sa sarili ko, parang baka baka first love never dies na lang. Ganyan.
Babalik at babalik.
Oo, baka first love yung City, true love yung jazz. Parang ganyan.
Malalim hugot.
Oo, malalim. So, for people na nakikita tong City Hatchback right now, we're flashing pictures of it and some videos as well sa ating Facebook site. So, hopefully, you guys can transition. Kung nakikinig kayo sa radyo, if you can transition to watching the show on Facebook, GearBox RP1 or Radyo Pilipinas 1 or Radyo Pilipinas 1, makikita niyo yung itsura nitong City Hatchback. And yung harap, hindi nagkakalayo sa regular city sedan. But does it differ along the sides and obviously sa likod? But what are these differences, Maiko, para sa kaalaman ng ating listeners and viewers?
Yes. Yes, Sir Eric, you're right po. It shares the same front features with the sedan version. So it has the full LED headlights and fog lights, the high gloss front grille, and same bumpers as well. But the difference really is more on the side profile and the rear. So sa rear, syempre, the sedan gets a trunk, while the 5-door gets a tailgate. And different din po yung design ng spoiler niya and the rear bumper with the diffuser. And then on the side profile naman po, the alloy wheel design, it's the same with the RS, but the main difference here would be the color treatment. So it's painted in Berlina black for the City 5-door. Kaya po, it gives off a very sporty vibe.
Nice.
So those are the main differences in terms of the exterior.
Very sporty talaga. Laki ng gulong eh. Diba?
16-inch.
16.
Yes.
Oo, 16. O yan. So, anong meaning ng RS?
It means road sailing po. So, for road sailing, makikita nyo rin po siya sa iba nating Honda products like the Brio, the Civic, the Honda HR-V. These models po kasi parang it embodies the sporty feature, pero these are the vehicles that you would enjoy driving on a daily basis. So parang siyang everyday sport. So yun yung main concept of the RS na ina-apply natin to the Honda models.
Okay. I asked you because a lot of people don't know what it really means. A lot of people assume it's race sport, ganyan, race series.
So, yung R usually inisip nila racing, mga race.
Racing. Na-associate ka agad sa racing.
Well, that's a credit to Honda rin siguro, no? And that's yung parang sporty image ng Honda, kaya automatic sa tao pag kita nila R, they think it's race related.
Racing.
Oh.
Yes po. We understand. And I think okay din naman po to associate it, kaya talagang in terms of the features, talagang we make sure na it really looks sporty and or at least give off that vibe.
Now sa dimensions, Maiko, no, it says na mas maiksi siya sa sedan. Is that correct? Mas maiksi siya sa sedan version?
Yes po. It's shorter compared to the sedan because of the trunk. So pero the wheelbase between the sedan and the hatch are the same. So it shares the same wheelbase, and actually even if it's shorter than the sedan, it actually has more legroom and knee clearance compared to the sedan. So it's really very spacious. It has 40 millimeters more legroom compared to the sedan version. Yeah. It's very spacious.
Paano adjustment? Paano configuration at na mas marami pang legroom?
Kasi po, with the rear seats, since you don't have the trunk, the seat configuration, it was pushed back a little. So parang it gives more room for the leg space. So that's how we got the 40 millimeters more room for the City Hatchback.
Okay, and then interiors, kamusta naman sa loob? Aside from that larger leg room compared to the sedan.
So inside po, we still retain the ULTR seats that everybody loved about the Jazz. Pero the main changing point here would be the seat material. So it's a combination of leather and suede. The patterns between the City Sedan and Hatchback RS, medyo different siya. Pero both po na colors, black with red accent siya. And then we also have the paddle shifters. You can also see rear ventilation, so sakto kasi mainit dito sa atin. We also upgraded the audio to 8-inch.
Wait, what do you mean by rear ventilation? Ano yun?
Yes, may rear aircon siya. So, malamig din for the rear passengers. Yes, nasa center console po sa likod ng center console. Yeah, so you have those rear vents. It also has 8-speaker system with 8-inch display audio. It's also equipped with Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. So it's easier and more seamless if you're traveling. You just plug it in, and then you can already see the contents of your phone. So yeah, there's a lot of features na talagang it would really feel cozy inside. And would make your drive more fun and more exciting for both the passengers and the driver alike.
How many USB ports meron, Maika?
It has 2 USB ports po. So you can charge po.
Both are in front?
Both are in front, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Walang away, ano?
Walang away.
Walang away kung may kasi ama ka. Natawa ako dun sa sinabi mo, you feel cozy inside. Because, you know, there was a time na I was doing events. Kami ni Eric, in our old radio station, we were doing events. We would go out of town, and I would be in charge. So, from set up to egress, ako yun, diba? So, nandun na ako sa venue. And I was literally living in my car. Buti na lang, yun, nung time na yun, city yung kotse ko. Yun nga, very spacious talaga siya. And pwede mo ilagay lahat doon.
Yes,
so, yun.
Correct.
I remember it was something like mga mid or early around mid 2000s when there was the city launch sa Bohol, ano, medyo matagal-tagal na to. Wala pa. Would like to say hello to sila Laika de la Cruz Andres and si Che. I think they were watching sa office, HCPI office. Hi guys, thank you for watching and supporting si Maiko. Attorney would like to send...
na inaaway namin.
Si attorney, may technical difficulties. Attorney Luis Soriano of HCPI, yung official spokesperson and general manager for sales, unfortunately unable to make it. It's okay, attorney. We will put you on the spot some other time. Ngayon si Maiko na lang munang we'll put on the spot. But going back to my story, yung launch ng City Bohol a few decades back actually. One of the things we loved about yung city nung nilabas yun was itong parang breed ng city na maluwag, makaka-de-4 ka talaga from the back seat. And you can't say that about other compact cars. And we were raving about that. Kami yung mga motoring journalists who were on the trip. Wow, you can actually do this now in a subcompact sedan. Hindi mo magagawa to sa iba. You couldn't say that about other cars before. So one of the things that impressed us was space. So, and that's something na the city continues kahit na itong, what is it, 7th generation of the city, ganun pa rin, maluwag pa rin sa loob.
Yes,
and imagine mo sila yun mga guys na ang lalaking tao. Ako ang liit ko lang. So talagang for me, parang sala. Yun ang feeling ko.
Very spacious. Yes, that's actually one of the features talaga na parang we're really proud to have. Parang in all generations of the city, talagang really make sure that there's more than enough space for all the passengers.
Parang magic nga yan eh. Tinitingnan mo. I mean, seriously, when you look at it, it's the same size in its segment as the other, yung competition niya, no? Pero pasok mo sa loob, saan galing yung space nitong city? Ang laki. But anyway, Nana, you were saying?
No, I was gonna ask about the steering wheel. Sabi mo may paddle shifters.
Yes,
So can you explain this more? At saka nakita ko parang madaming buttons. Are there a lot of controls na nandun sa na available sa steering wheel?
Okay. For the steering wheel po, you have the audio controls, which I think everyone's familiar with it naman po. You can switch the music, you can turn the volume up and down. And then on the right-hand side, you get the cruise control. So for the cruise control po, it allows you to set a specific speed. So for example, when you're in the highway, you can just click on or set the cruise control button on your desired speed. So steady na siya aandar. While the paddle shifters naman, it allows you to parang change gear in a way. It's a CVT, pero you can feel that you can increase or decrease your speed based on what you're pressing. So on the right, you can increase, and then on the left side, you can decelerate. So parang ano siya, it gives a more sporty feel when you're driving, diba? There are paddle shifters. So those are the things that we do. Pang F1, sakto F1 season ngayon, diba? So yes, may ganong vibe siya.
Now, let's talk about safety features, Maiko, of the City Hatchback. What does it offer?
Okay, for the City Hatchback RS, we have 6 airbags. So talagang we make sure that this is a very safe vehicle. It also has hill start assist. So when you're driving up, it would assist you not to parang roll down, diba? And then we also have the VSA or Vehicle Stability Assist, the ISO fix at the back, and then for the 6 airbags, you have the dual front, the side airbags, and the side curtain airbags. And even the structure of the vehicle itself, we call it the G-Con technology. So the vehicle is really built to be safe when you're driving. And it also comes with a multi-view reverse camera. So when you're parking, it gives you 3 views. So it's easier to park kasi you can just see it on your screen. So those are the safety features that we have for the City Hatchback.
Very nice.
Good to know na daming safety features kasi baka mapapabilis sila dahil feeling racing.
Racing pero safe. So
yes. Buti meron itong mga safety features in place.
Yes po.
Now we mentioned go ahead, Nana.
No, sabi ko push to start button rin, ano?
Yes po. You can also find the one push start system. So it's easier to start the vehicle, and actually it's much more convenient now kasi aside from the one push start system, it also comes with a remote engine start. Nice. So kapag nasa labas ka pa lang, you can just press it and then it would turn on automatically para kunwari when you're in the parking, it's very hot, pagpasok mo naka-on na yung aircon. So that's what the remote engine start does. And those are the new features for the all-new City Hatchback.
Galing yan. So at least you don't have to look for your keys as long as either nasa bag mo or nasa bulsa mo. You have to bring it out, step on the brake, push the start button. Tapos mas maganda pa yung sinabi ni Maiko, you can actually remote start it. So kung gusto mong palamigin yung sasakyan para pawisin ka, at least and then you're sitting on leather suede seat. So medyo pag naarawan yan, mainit-init. Pero pag lumamig, mas maganda because it cools faster.
Yeah.
So it's better na yun nga, palamigin mo muna before you get in para komportable.
Tsaka, or, pag hindi mo mahanap yung kotse mo sa parking, start mo na. Although, napakatahimik ng engines usually, ng Jazz and City. So, hindi ko alam, iba ba? Dahil RS siya, may ganun ba?
It shares the same engine po with the City sedan and all the variants in the sedan. But it's a new engine developed compared to the previous generation City and Jazz. So before kasi we have the 1.5 liter single overhead cam. Ngayon, ano na po siya. We retain the displacement to 1.5 pero it's dual overhead cam. So it gives you a more fuel efficient drive and parang even in lower RPM, mas mabilis na siyang mag-accelerate. So that's the main changing point for this engine. So at lower RPM, you can accelerate faster para ayun, mas enjoy drive. Syempre, alam naman natin here, di ba, medyo traffic. So you have to enjoy your car even at low RPM. So that's the main improvement point for this generation po.
Nag-bump up ba in power, Maiko, with the dual overhead cam? It's the same output.
For the power po, it improved by 1 PS. Pero yung improvement is really more of the torque. So dati before at 4,800 RPM siya eh. Ngayon at 4,300 na lang you can get the same amount of torque na po.
Maramdaman mo na yung torque kicking in.
Yes po.
So that makes it a little bit more, just a little bit more fuel efficient than before kasi mas mababa ng konti yung revs. So
Yes
you're
po.
consuming a little less fuel than before.
Yes po, yes. In terms of the
fuel efficiency.
Yes po. In terms of the actual figures of the fuel efficiency, we don't have the official figures yet, but soon we'll be releasing it. Pero based on internal tests, may improvement siya by around 3% compared to the previous generation.
Okay, so steady lang. I forgot to ask about the interior kanina. Parang may nabasa ako na the interior lighting is red. Totoo ba yun?
Yes po. For the sa instrument cluster, you can find red lighting dun sa illumination ring niya. So it matches with the leather seat, steering wheel. May red stitches din kasi including with the knobs. So those are the accents that you can find inside. So yes, meron po red lighting.
Hindi naman yung sa anong tawag mo dun sa light
Dome.
sa roof?
Dome light. No.
Hindi naman disco.
Hindi naman po.
Yun.
Same color.
But is it because of the RS, the trim or variant, kaya ganon?
Yes po, yes. It's exclusively designed for RS. So for the sedan version, the RS gets that treatment as well. Pero for the other grades, it's a different color naman po. So the red is a special color for the RS.
RS. So nakuha niya rin kahit na hatchback siya, gets the RS treat. Speaking of the RS, the grade, why is there only one grade of the City Hatchback? Bakit RS lang?
Interesting question. Kasi I think everyone's really coming from Jazz, no? Parang for Jazz, we used to have four variants. Pero kasi we have studied the market continuously and we have seen a decline in the B hatchback category. So dati it used to have like 10% share in the B category or the subcompact, parang 90% sedan, 10% hatch. Pero ngayon kasi the share is actually 99% sedan and 1% hatch. So in terms of efficiency and demand ng market, we really studied parang which variant ba are they really gearing towards. And in our studies, we found that they're leaning more on the upper grade. So in the Jazz's case, you have the VX and the RS. So that's why we have decided to just bring in one variant for the City Hatch. It's really more on the market demand. So as you know, there's a lot of emerging segments. You have the subcompact, the 7-seater small SUVs, the mini or the A segment. Those are growing. So parang some of the buyers ng B hatchback are shifting na rin to other segments. So yeah, that's the primary reason why we chose to just bring in the RS.
But this is the top variant, Top variant
Yes,
of the hatchback na.
Yes po. The top variant. So it's very much loaded with features.
At magkano naman ito?
Okay, for the price po, the SRP is at 1,115,000 pesos. And we are actually shouldering more than half of the safeguard tariff. Because as you know, the tax is levied an additional 70,000 for passenger car. So with that, we're only requiring a deposit of 13,000 from the customers, and we're shouldering the rest. Yeah.
13, that's 13 out of 70.
Yes.
Pait naman ng CBI.
Yes, we're making this very attainable for the customers. Syempre.
57, they're paying for 57,000 pesos of your tariff.
Yes po.
Wow.
We want to lessen the burden.
Lang babayaran ng customer.
They're one of the few brands in the Philippines shouldering a huge part ng safeguard duty,
Yes, we want to lessen the burden talaga for the
so that
customers.
price you gave us, Maiko, that's inclusive now of the safeguard tariff.
Exclusive po. So it's 1,115,000, and then on top of it is the 13,000. Yes, for the customer side.
Still, liit pa rin.
Yeah. Yes.
For a hatchback.
Yeah.
Price.
Tsaka yun na, out of 70, di ba? 13 lang ang babayaran mo. Ang laki ng sinolder ng Honda.
Pero I'm surprised about yung sinasabi ni Maiko na study, na people are gravitating more. Well, I understand the crossover, yung love for the crossovers and the SUVs. Pero I do believe ang daming hatchback lovers in the Philippines. Ang daming may gusto ng hatchbacks. I know for a fact several friends prefer hatchbacks over sedans. So, and yun nga, flashing the pictures of the City Hatchback, ang ganda. It's a very nice implementation of the hatchback form in the city. Nung drive namin yung city for a test drive over to Cainta, Taytay, I didn't know na magkakaroon ng hatchback, but when I was imagining yung City Hatchback, I couldn't tell kung how is it gonna look on the city sedan. Pero maganda. I like how they implemented it when they finally released it. It looks nice.
Thank you, sir. Glad you liked it.
So, itong City Hatchback, is it available for test drive? Not just for Eric, but for customers?
Yes po, of course. The customers can inquire in their nearest dealerships nationwide. So they can take it out for a spin, see how it feels driving. Of course, mas maganda pa rin to experience how it rides, diba? I mean, the drive itself. So yes, we encourage everyone to contact your dealerships near you.
If it's anything like the city, which we drove sa Tanay Burg Ring, what we call it, the Tanay Burg. Umuulan pa noon, hindi na namin yun. Well, that's because of it parang mimics the Nürburgring, which is one of those circuits sa ibang bansa na twisty and up the mountains and stuff like that. So parang ganun yung sa Tanay eh. So when we drove it there, umuulan, we really raved about the handling of the all new City. And if the hatchback handles as good as that or even better, then yung customers will be in for a great surprise. Speaking of the customers, what's the reception been like? Banggit mo kanina, Maiko, that obviously they said na yun nga, ano nangyari sa Jazz and all that, but how have they received? Anong feedback nyo when you hear from representatives sa dealership, how people reacted with the City Hatchback?
Despite the heartaches, actually, maganda yung naging performance niya in the market during its first month of selling. So we launched it last April 20, exactly a month ago. Pero we're proud to say na it already dominated its segment. It already owns 85% market share. So
really?
That kahit yeah.
How many units is that?
I'm not sure if I can disclose it.
Okay. Galing.
Ako ni Mike.
85%?
Reklamo ka ng reklamo na wala ng gas. Well,
Kaya kanina pa tayo pinagtatawanan ni Maiko eh. Tawa na siya ng tawa. Ang dami niyong reklamo, puro kayo reminiscing about the Jazz. Ito na ang bagong king ng hatchbacks. 85%. Galing.
25%. Yes.
Grabe. So, but the car is available? Or pipila ba? Paano ba yan?
It's available na po. So, you can reserve if you want. Just na, I encourage you to reserve na your unit. Which dealer ba do you prefer? Platinum white, no? So,
Platinum white.
so yes, it's available po in all our dealerships nationwide. So you can also check out our virtual showroom in our website, www.hondafil.com. So you can check out the specs, the prices, and everything you want to know about our products. Not just the City Hatchback, but everything else. So there.
Saan gawa tong City Hatchback?
It's made in our plant in Thailand, in the Prachinburi plant. So yes.
Okay. Now, is there a chance, ito tatanong ko na, no? May chance bang bumalik uli yung jazz? Ano sabi ni attorney? Si attorney wala eh. Si attorney papasagutin ko sana kaso wala si attorney eh. Nakita kasi ni attorney yung questionnaire eh. Kaya ba ayaw niyo nang pumunta?
I think si attorney may sagot po dyan eh. Pero yan, in terms of jazz making a comeback, right now, it's very hard to say, but if there's enough demand or, of course, not just here in the Philippines, but we have to take into consideration the global and regional scale. So yeah, we're continuously studying and working together with different countries and our counterparts in different countries. So yeah, with that, it's very hard to say a definite answer right now.
Was it a regional thing ba? I mean, nung nawala ba yung jazz, it's in the region?
In some of the countries in the region, meron pa po eh. Pero kasi it's not, parang majority brought in the City Hatch. Yeah. So in terms of development din kasi, of course, we have to consider who are we sharing the costs with, di ba? Ganon, the business side of things.
That's true.
Of course,
we're a much smaller market.
Yeah. Left-handed tayo, which is actually a minority in this market. So, bulk talaga coming from the right-hand market. That's so, ganun siya yung mga discussions.
That's true.
At ano naman ang maipapayo mo sa mga jazz lovers na hindi pa makamove on?
Move on na, yun lang. 85%. Sabihin lang ni Maiko, 85%.
So mga jazz lovers, we understand the heartache. Pero yeah, of course, we encourage you to still check out the City Hatchback. It inherits some of the well-loved features from the Jazz. It still has the fuel-efficient engine, the fully loaded features, not just the advanced technology, but the safety as well. It's very fun to drive. It's very sporty, and of course, you still get the ULTR seats. So, syempre, we want everyone to see it in the metal muna, diba? And of course, test drive it para to really fall in love with it as well, as much as they love the Jazz. So, yeah, we are hoping, of course, na eventually the City Hatchback will get a similar reception or parang following the market, same as Jazz.
Right. Ayan na, 85% na eh. Naku,
on the first month.
Sige na. Sige na. Tuko na ako.
Hopefully it would sustain. So we're hoping for the support of everyone as well.
Now, here's another question for you, Maiko. No? The Civic is set to launch, all new Civic, set to launch in Singapore. I believe sometime this year to. And it's on the news, maraming mga websites including autoindustria.com naglabas na ng news na lalabas na nga siya Singapore. First ASEAN country, if I'm not mistaken, makakatanggap ng all-new Civic 2022 Honda Civic to be exact. When are we getting this?
Well, currently we have the 2021 Civic, so I invite everyone to check out the 2021 Civic.
Parang sagot lang ni attorney yun. May script kaya yata from attorney. May in-email ba sa'yo si attorney?
Nabulungan
Represent from the boss eh.
Winner na niya. Alam mo, ibubuli ka nila doon.
Tatanungin ka na naman ng mga yan. Kulit yung mga yan eh. No, but wala pang, I mean, just small teaser type, wala pa at all?
No information yet
Wala
as
pa.
of now. Pero of course, we encourage everyone to follow us on our social media pages. Of course, doon kami naglalabas ng teaser. So if ever meron man, then you can
Dito na lang tayo
check it
maglabas
out.
ng teasers. Magaling ang sagot ni Maiko. Hindi na tayo makakuha ng scoop dito na next time hanap pa tayo ng ibang taga HCPI. Hindi tayo makakuha.
I'll warn them too.
Maiko, share naman the social media accounts that they can follow.
For the social media accounts, we have a Facebook page, it's Honda Phil, and also it's the same Instagram handle as well, so you can follow us on Instagram. We also have a YouTube account where you can see videos of our product, and of course our website, you can check out www.hondaphil.com.
Any ongoing upcoming promos, Maiko?
For the promos, yes, we have ongoing promos, and you can find it on our Facebook page. So we offer promos for our different models, the City, the Brio, it's all there po. And the amount varies din per model. So for everyone, I want to invite you to visit our page so you can see the updates.
Maraming salamat. Very informative talk mula kay Maiko Via, Product Planning Section Manager ng Honda Cars Philippines Incorporated. Really enjoyed it a lot. Check out the all-new City Hatchback. It's pretty. If it handles, like what I said, Ken, if it handles as good as the City sedan, it's going to be a fun ride. Thank you again, Maiko, for being on the show. And we appreciate you telling us, kahit walang scoop, all the information about all new Honda City Hatchback.
Bitter pa siya.
Wala si attorney, akala ko makakuha na tayo, wala pa rin. But thank you to attorney. He tried, Attorney Luis Soriano tried, pero nagkaroon ng problems. We'll get you back on the show, attorney, very, very soon. Thanks again to sila Laika, sila Che, and everybody else from HCPI who helped put together this interview with Maiko. We'll take a quick break. Gearbox will be back right after these.
Thank you.
Itodo na ang silinyador, forward, and speed up with Gearbox sa Radyo Pilipinas.
Si Dr. Bev Ho po ito mula sa Department of Health. Patuloy pa rin po ang ating pagbabakuna kontra COVID-19 dito sa Pilipinas. Ang ilan sa atin, mayroon pa rin pangamba. Kahit pa man nasa MGCQ o GCQ lang ang ating bayan at kaunti lang ang mga kaso, importanteng mabigyang proteksyon ang ating komunidad.
So before po ako naging mayor, dati po ako nagtatrabaho as municipal doctor dito sa munisipyo po namin. During this time of COVID, ako yung na-assign as municipal doctor sa isolation center namin. Mas maganda pa nga yung konti pa yung kaso natin, vaccinated na tayo para hindi na mag-spread yung virus dito sa municipality natin o sa lugar natin. Educate yourself, no? The correct information sa ating bakuna is nandun na online. So you have to find lang the credible sources. So doon na malalaman na very important pala tong vaccination. The last year na nag-umpisa tayo sa COVID, people are demanding kung kailan pa ba ito matatapos. So nung nalaman natin na bakuna lang yung solusyon, we are very excited. Now that the vaccines are here and available, people are hesitant. So yun lang yung gusto kong iparating sa inyo na walang binibigay ang gobyerno na nakakasama para sa ating mga kapwa Pilipino. I encourage everyone, kung priority nyo na bakunahan na kayo, grab the opportunity while nandito pa yung supply, while libre pa yung bakuna. So i-grab na natin yung opportunity para rin sa ating lahat.
Wala kayong dapat ikabahala. Ang mga vaccines po natin ginagamit ay otorisado ng inyong Food and Drug Administration. Sana, kung learn nyo na, magpabakuna na rin kayo. Magpabakuna po tayo. Rest bakuna na upang COVID-19 ay talunin.
Para sa karagdagang impormasyon, puntahan sa Facebook ang official page ng Department of Health.
Yung mga at risk po, katulad ng healthcare workers, ang mga may edad na at iba pang sakit, kung mabigyan po tayo ng oportunidad na bigyan ng bakuna, tanggapin po natin. Dahil ito po ay ating pagkakataon upang sa lalong madaling panahon, tayo po ay mabigyan ng proteksyon. Hindi lang po laban sa infeksyon, kundi pati po sa simptomas, sa severe disease, sa hospitalisasyon, at wag naman po ipahintulot kahit po sa pagkamatay.
Kaya pawiin ang pangamba. Sa mga tamang impormasyon at balita lamang maniwala. Res Bakuna. Sama-sama tayo sa Bida Vaccination. Isang mensahe mula sa DOH, KBP, PCOO, Philippine Broadcasting Service, Radyo Pilipinas, Republika FM1, Capital FM2, at Integrated News Team. Mga bakunang sa COVID-19 ay panlaban. Isa-isa nang nakakarating sa Maynila at iba't ibang probinsya. Ating gobyerno ay natutuwa dahil marami na rin ang interesadong magpabakuna.
Halos araw-araw, marami po nagre-request ng mga vaccine. Ibig sabihin po, talagang tumaas na po yung kagustuhan ng ating mga kababayan na magkaroon na po ng bakuna.
Ating mga kababayan, patuloy na binibigyang kasiguraduhan, mga bakuna ay ligtas at hindi dapat pagambahan.
Sa mga bakuna na ginagamit sa buong mundo, yung AstraZeneca at Sinovac na ginagamit po natin ay top 5 po yan. Meaning gusto nating i-assure yung ating mga kababayan na yung ginagamit nating bakuna ay ginagamit na rin sa napakaraming countries.
Pero ating gobyerno sa ating muling nagpapaalala na sa kabila ng mga nakahandang bakuna, pag-iingat sa sarili ay mahalaga pa rin na mauna.
It's also the mask, the washing of the hands, at social distancing. It's your life. You have only one life to live. So, please guard yourself.
Sa mga sabi-sabi ay huwag basta maniwala. Gawin ang mas makabubuti para sa sarili, pamilya at kapwa. Res Bakuna, sama-sama tayo sa Bida Vaccination! Isang mensahe mula sa DOH, KBP, PCOO, Philippine Broadcasting Service, Radyo Pilipinas, Republika FM1 at Capital FM2. Pagpupursige ng pamahalaan, hindi lang nakatuon sa pagbibigay bakuna para sa taong bayan. Clinical trials sa mga maaring maging gamot kontra COVID-19 ay tinututukan.
Marami po tayong ginagawa ng trial sa kasalukuyan, katulad po ng lagundi, tawa-tawa, abigan at melatonin, yung VCO or Virgin Coconut Oil.
Magandang pag-usad sa pagsusurit pag-aaral, ipinahagi ng DOST.
Sa Virgin Coconut Oil po may mga natapos na, pero kailangan pa po natin ng more studies to be done para mas malakas po ang katibayan na ito po ay maaaring karagdagang gamot para sa mga mayroong COVID-19.
Kagawaran, umaasang maikling panahon na lang ang kailangan para sa resultang inaabangan.
Sa pangkalahatan, nakikita po namin na basta wala pong problema at ma-achieve yung target na sample size sa mga pag-aaral na ito ay sana po ay matapos ito ng around June.
Makakamit na nga kaya ang inaasam na lunas laban sa COVID-19? Ito na ba ang gamot kontra sa virus? Pakinggan ang mga karagdagang impormasyon. Nakabantay sa bawat usad ng kaganapan. Tapat sa bawat pag-uulat. Radyo Pilipinas. Bilang ng COVID cases sa bansa, hindi pa rin bumababa. Mga bakuna para sa mamamayan, hindi pa rin sapat para sa lahat. Pero muli, pamahalaan ay nagpaalala, walang maiiwan, walang papabayaan.
Do not be afraid. Government is working. Government is busy doing everything, not nothing. Government is trying to get the things to fix all of us.
Kapasidad ng mga ospital lalong pinapalakas. Mas maraming COVID vaccines darating sa mga susunod na buwan. Kalaban ay hindi man nakikita, pero sa pagtutulungan at pagsama-sama ay malalampasan din itong pandemya.
Talagang kakaiba po itong bagong virus na ito. Talagang binulaga po tayo ngayon. Pero siguro sa tamang pagtutulungan ng mga alkalde, ng mga mamayan at ng nasyonal na pamahalaan, talagang wala pong imposible.
Para sa tamang balita at impormasyon, Radyo Pilipinas. Isang taon na tayong lumalaban sa COVID-19 at totoong nakakabahala na muli na namang tumataas ang bilang ng mga kaso.
Yung po pagtaas ng mga kaso ay patuloy at ito po ay natukoy dito po sa lalong-lalo na sa National Capital Region.
Iba't ibang variant ng virus ay nakapasok na rin sa bansa pero pamahalaan ay maagap pa rin at hindi naman nagpapabaya.
Ang kaagara, kilos o aksyon ng mga LGU and the national government ay talagang ginawang mabilisan at agresibo at kailangan matustusan po itong mga hakbang na ito para maputol ang kadena ng hawaan at masiguro natin na ang kanila pong inilatag na mga pamamaraan ay talaga pong magiging epektibo para mapababa ang kaso ng COVID.
Pangulong Duterte, muli na naman tayong siniguro na walang Pilipino ang maiiwan sa gobyernong ito.
I know, lahat kayo, lalo na mga kababayan ko na dyan sa Escobadas area, lahat kayo, huwag kayong matakot at hindi ko kayo iwanan. Wala isa at parang mandunog kayo ng gobyerno. Hindi yung mangyari yan. Maghintay-hintay lang kayo. Abutin ko rin kayo.
Sa pandemya ay hindi tayo magpapatalo. Basta't sama-sama, kaya natin to. Isang mensahe mula sa DOH, KBP, PCOO, Philippine Broadcasting Service, Radyo Pilipinas, Republika FM1 at Capital FM2.
Turn up the headlights. Turn up the headlights. Tumutok na sa Gearbox dito sa Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM.
Welcome back to the show. This is Gearbox sa Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM. We're also live on Facebook via Gearbox RP1 at Radyo Pilipinas 1. Eric Tipan with Nana Nadal. Good evening. Thank you for being here on the show. And as promised, we will now talk about wellness and finding your inner peace, I guess. Ang ating guest mula sa Healing Haven, she's a Kundalini Yoga teacher. And with such a beautiful name, by the way, Eauaua De Leon. Hi, Eauaua. Welcome to Gearbox.
Hi, Satnam. Thank you. Lovely to be here, and looking forward to discussing more about Kundalini Yoga. And have you tried it yourself, Eric?
I've tried yoga, pero I don't know if it was Kundalini Yoga. And I'm not, hindi ako masyado ano. But what was that greeting? Di ba? Usually, ang nadidinig natin when people do is namaste. So, but it's a new greeting to my ears. Anong ano yun?
Yes. So, yung mantra na yun, actually mantra yun, Satnam. So, it's easy to identify or mapapansin mo kung nagkukundalini yung taong yun is when mag-greet sila ng Satnam sa'yo.
Okay.
So, yung ibig sabihin nun is Sat means truth, Nam is identity. So in short, truth is my identity. I embody the truth, or the truth within me acknowledges the truth within you.
Wow, very nice.
So, si Eric, you asked him if he has tried Kundalini Yoga, and he's not sure because he's not familiar with Kundalini Yoga. While I have tried it, I really am not familiar with everything about it.
Congratulations!
Yeah. I tried it. Can you tell us what is Kundalini Yoga?
Yeah, so Kundalini, going to the etymology, so Kundalini comes from the root word kundal, which means lock or curl of the beloved. So, minsan kasi dinidepict ang Kundalini na with the image of a snake or a serpent, which is not exactly so accurate because it's more of that the long hair, that lock of the beloved that curls at the base, sa dulo ng spine. And supposedly, doon ang energy ng Kundalini, untapped energy siya na lahat tayo meron. And it sits at the base of the spine, and that's the goal of every Kundalini class. We try to safely bring out and tap in your inner Kundalini energy so that you can utilize it for yourself, para magamit siya. Kasi we all have it, sayang naman.
Okay. Does Kundalini have a specific meaning? Sorry, I didn't get that. May meaning ba yung word na Kundalini?
Yeah. So, how do we get to raise the Kundalini energy? So, we do that through a series, an uplifting fusion of spiritual, physical practices. So, it's all aimed to strengthening the mind, body, spirit through there's the asanas or the postures, of course, the movements that you do in yoga itself. And with every Kundalini Yoga class, kasama yung meditation. Walang escape dyan. Kailangan. Prerequisite siya. It's like 3-in-1 coffee. Kailangan palaging nando. Meditation. And then aside from that, sa dulo, we have Savasana, which is a period also of resting so that of course ma-absorb din yung body, yung mga nagawa mo, because syempre you activated yung organs mo, tas nagre-release din ng mga ibang hormones. So the body needs that resting period para ma-absorb lahat. No? And you can process it. It's just like in life. If you're going too fast, hindi ka mag-rest, talagang mag-breakdown ka. So it's the same thing with Kundalini. And what's different with Kundalini Yoga is that masashare ni Nana ito na we chant. So we have several meditations. Satnam is just one of them. We also have mudras or hand gestures. So I'm sure popular ito. This is Gyan Mudra. So, pati si Buddha, if you see depictions of Buddha, he does this.
Yep.
And Jesus Christ, may mga images of him, statues na nakaganito siya. So, we also call this Mahan Gyan Mudra. So, the meaning of that is to direct the energies, the flows of the energy, because supposedly our fingers are also conduits, so channels. They're also channels for energy to flow.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I can go on and on. I mean, I can also explain that each finger corresponds to a planet, and all of these planets also has its own distinct energy.
Are those the same planets na pinag-aaralan natin sa school? Or
Tama, yes.
Okay, really?
Jupiter, like itong index finger.
index finger is Jupiter?
Popular. So, Jupiter, when you put it together like this, you enclose it. This is called Gyan Mudra.
With your thumb?
Yes. So, this is the seal of enlightenment. So, this is tapping into intuition, expansion, everything, wealth, success, prosperity, intelligence. Yes. So,
Okay. What planet is the thumb?
the thumb is the ego. It also represents the earth.
Okay.
So that's
it's the Earth. Okay.
So Earth or us, ourselves. So we're it's us, and then we connect to all those energies, planets.
So, and then, mudra, the hand, and then you chant. What are the chants for? So, ano ba yung mga china-chant?
Yes. So, it's always different in every class. That's actually why ako mismo I fell in love with it. Kasi ako easily nabobore ako pag paulit-ulit, same thing every time. So, with every Kundalini Yoga class, iba-iba ang tema. So, well, connecting with that, sorry, where was I again? We were talking about the
chants. I said, what are the chants?
So, the chants is also a form of prayer, of devotion. So, it's non-denominational. You can be of any religion. It doesn't matter. It's more of, you know how words are powerful, words have meaning. So, kahit sabihin mo, love in English, mahal in Tagalog, amor in Spanish, no matter how many times i-translate mo siya, nandyan pa rin yung essence. So, that is why we chant these chants, so that we can also embrace and embody those energies with the chanting. And there's also a history with Kundalini Yoga that intersects with Sikhism, S-I-K-H, Sikhs. So it happened many centuries ago with one of the 10 sacred Sikh gurus, Guru Ram Das. So many of the chants that we do are from the Sikh tradition.
Okay. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. These chants make you different from yung regular yoga practices that you see sa mga yoga studios. Is that correct?
Well, syempre yung ibang styles also nagcha-chant sila.
Meron din.
Sa dulo, many of them use Om. So they
I think the Om. I'm familiar with the Om.
Yeah. So many of them also have their own chants, but it's also from different traditions. Kasi it's like asking, saan ba nagmula yung music? It started out what? With people dancing around the fire, with the tribes, just with their bare hands, sometimes with drums. It's the same with Kundalini. One source lang, and then, you know, as time progressed, nag-evolve na siya.
Different kinds.
Yes.
And Kundalini is one of them. Now I'm interested. Si Nana ba na-pull off niya yung mga poses?
Yes, actually.
Madadali lang.
Ang galing.
Really? Wow, I'm impressed, ha?
Hindi. Wala pa madali. Parang warm up lang yun eh. No, okay. Hindi, kasi you mentioned earlier that the objective is to tap the energy at the base of the spine, di ba? So, what will happen? Why do we want to tap this energy? Ano yung effect sa akin or sa kung sino man if we are able to tap this energy?
So, the effects of it, personally, I can attest it's something similar na parang uminom ka ng kape, pero 1 week energized ka. Energized ka for 1 week. Pero energy-wise. And that's from one Kundalini class. That's why ako, na-hook ako first time pa lang, first class. By the end of the class, alam ko na this is something I need to learn and I want to be an instructor. And I even cried for the first time during class, just through doing a posture. I felt an emotional release. And I was already doing different styles of yoga prior to that. Pero itong Kundalini lang na lumabas yon, yung na-purge. So there. And so what else it does? Obviously, it strengthens your body. We not only focus on the arms, the legs, as in it's a full body experience, mental, spiritual, emotional experience. And of course, it will strengthen your immune system, your circulatory systems, and many reasons why the mudras look funny. Yes, I know, medyo kakaiba, ang weird ng mantra, ano ba sinasabi niya, pero end of the day, kailangan mo ma-feel yung effect. What does it do for you? If it works for you, di ba, go lang. So,
of course.
Yeah, that's what it has been so far.
We're showing a video.
Naiiyak? Bakit may ganung effect?
Sorry, which one?
Bakit naiiyak? Bakit may ganung effect?
Okay, so I was doing a cat-cow. So it's a posture. It's also done in other styles, no? Cat-cow, where you flex the spine forwards and backwards while on a tabletop position. I mean, gusto ko mag-demonstrate, pero next time na lang sa class. So anyway, so the flexing of the spine forwards and backwards was a heart opener. So I know physically that's what's happening to me. I'm expanding my lungs, but at the same time, I'm also opening up my heart by doing that. And it's true. That's why when you're stressed out, you dance, right? You move, it goes away. Kasi unconsciously, subconsciously, we hide yung mga stress natin, worries, fears, literally sa body, sa katawan, sa skin, the muscles, bones, tissues. It's tucked inside. Even physical traumas, emotional traumas are tucked inside the body. And moving it in this way is a great way na matanggal siya ma-release.
Nakikita ko yung noon ni Eric. Nakikita ko yung noon ni Eric kumukunot siya. Alam mo, sabihin ko sa'yo the past, 5 years or so, I've attended Kundalini Yoga with different instructors, siguro mga 4 times. And I only got into it because parang I was dragged blindly. Parang may friend ako na sinabi lang, basta show up at this hour, pumunta ka doon, meet mo ako magbabayad lahat, wala kang intindihin, hanapin mo tong tao na to, ganyan. And then I had no choice, di ba? Parang nahiya na ako. I attended it the first time. And the effect was I was so energized. Like, I came out of it a different person.
Wow!
Yun yung effect nung isa. And then another one naman is ganon. Naiyak ako. And walang sinasabi, hindi naman sinasabi, remember your childhood or what. Nothing, really. And it was just doing exercises na simple lang. And yun, parang naiyak ako. And then last Saturday, I attended with Eauaua. And my explanation to her, she asked us after how we felt, was I was relaxed at the same time energized. Parang ang weird, di ba, na ang hyper ko pero relaxed ako. Pero ganon, may ganon siyang effect na I don't understand.
Now we were showing some videos para sa mga nanonood on Facebook, it seems like you guys were wearing some sort of matching outfits, white with is that common sa pag nagpa-practice ka ng Kundalini Yoga?
Or is it required?
Yeah, is it required?
It's not exactly required, but it's highly recommended. And to explain for that is because white in itself is not actually color, but it encapsulates all the colors, right, of the rainbow. It deflects. Unlike black, di ba? Pag black, ina-absorb lahat. So, if there's negative energy, it just bounces off you because you're wearing white. even scientifically, science can also explain that.
Right.
Tsaka, syempre pag white, there's already associations, connotations that come along with it na purity, cleanliness, godliness, sacred, royal. So mapapatingin ka talaga pag white kasi it's very brilliant, it's very radiant, you're glowing. So that is the reason for white. And of course, ang hirap din magsuot ng white ha. Kailangan always it brings up your consciousness and awareness na kailangan pag-ingatan mo. Not only
dudumihan agad eh. But is it important to have the headgear also?
And, yes, the headgear also is also a reminder that we are, human yet divine. So it's a self-crowning.
Okay.
So to speak, ganon. So lahat tayo reyna at hari. And also at the same time, if you want to experiment wearing a head wrap, kahit hindi naman turban, to just put on a head wrap, it helps protect you from other external energies, forces, diba? If you want to maintain a good aura, kailangan, diba? Naka-block ang nega. So, one way to wear this. Tsaka, I noticed with prolonged usage, mas may concentration at focus ako, mas sharp yung memory.
Okay. When you're wearing the headgear.
Yes, that's one of the reasons. Yes.
Okay.
And also, yes, to maintain the energy inside para hindi lang mag-spill out lahat ng energy also.
Pero in her class, like last Saturday, we were all just wearing exercise gear.
Yeah.
Shirt.
Yeah, so your choice naman if you want to wear all white or if you want to wear something else. Also, colors have their own unique energies. So that's something you can also experiment on. But white is supreme because nga, it is the, it's the combination of all of them, of the entire
all colors.
Yeah.
Okay. How long is a Kundalini yoga session?
Well, for my class particularly, it's 1 hour. 1 hour is minimum, but it can go on and on. I've had teachers who teach 1.5, 2 hours, minsan 3 hours. So it really depends. Yes. Choose your own adventure.
Now, are the poses, what I'm interested in is, are the poses advanced? Ano bang, or are there levels as well to Kundalini Yoga?
More or less may levels din. So, siguro pag mga first-timers, pag may private class ako, pinipili ko na lang yung mga kriyas or the yoga sets that are, not so difficult na upside down or things like that.
But it's practically, go ahead, Dana.
So anybody at any fitness level, I mean, like I was so afraid because I'm super not fit. So I was hesitant to try it. Pero pwede naman, di ba? Kahit na hindi fit, kahit hindi masyadong athletic.
Yes. Definitely, especially at the time like right now with this pandemic, any movement is better than no movement at all. Any exercise is better than none. So for me, with my class, I tell naman lahat na kung hindi nyo kaya, bagalan nyo na lang. Kung kailangan, pause lang kayo, chill lang kayo, tas balik ulit kayo pag kaya na ulit. You catch your breath. But it's also important whether you try out Kundalini or a different style of yoga na sabihin nyo sa teacher nyo if you have any physical conditions, diseases, or ailments. Because there are also some certain kriyas or yoga sets na hindi recommended, like inversions, long inversions for those who have hypertension. So, just to customize the yoga set to be practiced. Yun.
Okay, that's very good. But usually in my experience, pag sinabing it's for all levels, it's for people, there are people who are level 0. And you are, kahit na sabihin lang that classes for all levels, it's not as easy as the way they make it sound. Mahirap pa rin, especially kahit na hindi inverted yung mga poses, just holding a pose for like 8 to 10 seconds sometimes. Pag di ba usually is it 8 seconds when you hold the pose, Eauaua, or Is it supposed to be 8 seconds? It's supposed to be 8 seconds.
Iba-iba.
Okay.
So certified in Yin Yoga, it's 3 minutes. Sometimes
3 minutes to hold the pose?
to 5 minutes, but more gentle siya. So stretching, more of stretching poses siya.
Okay.
In Kundalini, there are some yoga sets that are more yin-like also, that it's stretching, let's say forward fold, touch your toes, ganon. Spread your leg to the side, touch your left toe, ganon. So, again, it's more of where do you want to go? What is your intention for doing yoga? It's not a competition. Hindi siya race, okay? So don't feel bad, don't take it on yourself na kung hindi mo kaya, parang don't feel na you're lower. It has nothing to do with anybody else but yourself. So if you don't nga start, paano ka? How will you even step forward? So any baby step is better than none. So you have to start somewhere.
Yeah, start somewhere. Even if it's level 0, you have to start somewhere.
Exactly. So. And you'll notice Yeah, and you'll notice with prolonged practice, you'll get more flexible naman eh. So kahit,
That's true.
Yeah, even if at first you forward fold, tas hindi mo pa kayang iabot yung toes mo, kahit sa knees ka muna. And then you do it more and more every day or every week, mapapansin mo, yung lalambot na yung muscles and tissues mo, and your spine will become more adjusted, and then you'll go lower and lower. No pain, no gain.
No, pero I like that in her class, sinasabi na niya from the beginning na, this is not a competition, gawin niyo lang yung kaya, kung ano yung abot, pag napagod na, tumigil. So parang, na-relax na ako. Sinabi niya, kasi nung una parang, oh my God, diba? Kailangan makisabay ako, parang ganun.
It feels different for guys eh. May nakita ka kasabi mo, holding the pose, and holding it comfortably, and ikaw halos maubusan ka na ng hininga, and you're not even halfway through the pose. There's a challenge. There's a certain challenge. No, but
yung ego,
Yeah.
What's life without a challenge, diba? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. And sometimes it makes you hold the pose. Ako, I've gotten through several poses because of that. I was like, I'm looking at the other mga practitioners beside me, and like, kaya niya i-hold yun. I'll hold this as long as possible, and sometimes it gets you through it. It's what you need to, I guess, psych yourself up to increase your mental fortitude. Kung kaya nila,
ayaw patalo.
Whatever works for you, para lang hindi ka mag-break down in the middle of a pose.
Right.
Pero wag naman sobra kasi we don't want you then to be injured. So that's one thing with Kundalini Yoga that I want to add. It is a yoga where you should be self-initiating yourself. We, as much as possible, actually, it's told to us, it is taught to us not to even hold, as in, bawal ang hawak sa estudyante. Alam ko yung ibang styles, humahawak para gumawa ng adjustments. Pero sa amin, Kundalini Yoga, we are even told not to touch. Why is that? Not that wala kaming pake, not that we don't care, but because we want you to be independent and not dependent on us as a teacher. You are your own teacher. You will know anong level mo. Diba? Kung masaktan ka, you have to be responsible for your body. Not, kasi na teacher ko, she pushed me too far. Hindi ko naman kaya. So, so that's also one of the differences with Kundalini Yoga. That's what we are trying to do. We're encouraged to be independent. So, yun.
You mentioned earlier yung intentions. And if you go through the Instagram account of Eauaua, yung Healing Haven, you will see her announcements for her classes. Na parang every class, merong mga theme, merong mga intention na, kunwari, some of the stuff I saw was Kriya for sleep, or Kriya for inner anger, mga ganyan, or meron pang meditation for increased energy, meditation for calm heart, mga ganon. So ano yung mga ganong themes?
Yeah, so that's the beauty of Kundalini. There are supposedly thousands now of Kriyas. which is like thousands of recipes of different kinds of experiences you can have. Pati yung meditation din, super dami. So, ako, personal goal ko lang, is not to repeat a Kriya, not to repeat a meditation. Kasi, might as well explore since ang dami-dami. And, give all the students the benefit of that. So, that's the reason why it's different. For me, at least, kaya iba-iba siya. Because, lahat tayo iba-iba ang pangangailangan natin. So, that's why I want to give that equal opportunity na lahat matry nila. Lahat. There.
Okay. Now, on this video, we're showing, sana nga yung mga listeners natin, if you're listening to us on the radio, you can watch as well. Or maybe if you can't watch it right now, you can watch the replay. It's on YouTube every Friday at 9 a.m. We upload the previous day's episode. There's a lot of dancing, Is this in the middle? Is this in the beginning? Is this in the end? And why is there a dancing?
Yeah, so with Kundalini Yoga, ecstatic dance is also part of the practice. So what I do is alternate ko siya. So I think with my Saturday class, walang ecstatic dance.
Oh, really?
But for the next one, there'll be half.
There will be.
And
The
then
one
half.
I attended, merong ecstatic.
Meron.
Yes, you're the lucky one. Ang swerte mo.
Why do you take away the dance on some classes?
To just alternate for the purposes of alternating, because there are also some people who want the full yoga set experience and then the sound healing and the meditation. Others really like to move and shake it up, and that's a great way to relieve and to let go of the stress. Literally shake it off you, sweat it out. Cardiovascular exercise. That's what the whirling dervishes did. I mean, that's what they do. They spin around and around and around. You see one of Madonna's videos, bedtime stories. There's an image of the whirling dervishes. So they get into the trance state, like connecting with the divine. It's something similar to that, but you're also really purging in a lot and exploring yourself, your individuality through your movements. It's creative expression. So that's why it's also important and integrated in Kundalini Yoga.
And it's after the session.
It's normally I do the Kundalini Yoga set first, and then the ecstatic dance, and then either the meditation, and then Shavasana already, the sound healing.
Okay.
There.
And si Nana was doing the dancing? Because I worked with Nana for...
Nakakahiya pa nung una na.
I worked with Nana for a long time. I've never seen her dance, so...
Everybody has an inner dancing.
Na parang she'll ask you to get up, and then she'll play music, and then dance, di ba? Na bahala ka.
What song do you, is it a pop song you play?
I try to go for the ones with, nice bass and percussion. So it's usually Latin American songs, but there's also, other genres that I choose. And ideally, I try to get, I did some house music, the instrumentals also.
Nice.
You can just get into that state.
So it doesn't matter, yung music, hindi pala siya yung parang it has to be Kundalini music, ganyan, hindi ganon.
Not necessarily. So again, there's a lot of freedom there to, just go with the flow and dance with how your heart and your body is telling you. Very
How do you get the most out of this?
Of Kundalini Yoga?
Because I remember while we were dancing, you kept saying that you will only get as much as you get, or something like that.
So you'll notice that your movement is actually a reflection of your present state.
Okay.
So if you're guarded, if you're insecure, if you're stressed, yung maliit lang yung movements, small circles, small. But if you're free, you're like spreading your arms everywhere, you're spreading your legs, you're moving your head, your neck. So it's a reflection. Are you also very guarded? Are you shy? So maybe, more controlled movements. So there's a lot you can tell also with a person. and with yourself. It actually is a self-gauge or self-evaluation. What state am I in kaya right now?
Nice.
Wow. So,
Kasi yung iba gusto,
feeling ko, don't hold back, ganyan.
yes, no holds bar. Okay lang, go lang ng go.
Now, for people thinking about joining a Kundalini Yoga class, what do they need to prep, or do they need to prep themselves for it? What do they tell themselves to get them in that proper state of mind?
Ideally, I would tell them don't eat, or at least don't eat 1 hour prior to class, because if we're gonna move, it's gonna get compressed. Your digestion, that might be hard to do some of the poses if you just had a full meal. So that's one thing. And also, syempre, ayaw mo mag-jeans kasi ang sikip ng jeans is hard material. So I suggest wear comfortable clothing, maybe a loose shorts or loose leggings, and also a loose top or something that's, comfortable for you. And there's also that.
Can guys go with no shirts? I've seen some guys join classes walang shirts.
Yeah, no problem with me.
Okay, that's okay.
Naked, not naked, how many clothes you want to wear? Okay
Hey,
lang.
by the way, there's a naked yoga sa US. I think they do that naked yoga thing sa US. So you're saying naked is okay?
No, I was just joking.
Okay.
Because of course we have also other people. But me personally, if that's the way you want to express yourself, go. But of course, you have to be mindful of the other estudiantes.
That's right. That's right.
And remember, you'll be on Zoom, so somebody can
yes.
Can they?
There's some privacy.
Since it's a private class, I've heard of several studios na they allow you to not show video or not join the class with video. Can they join your Kundalini class without video?
Yes, that's also an option. Although it would be nicer, the group energy, if we can all see each other. And minsan din, chine-check ko rin yung posture, yung movement. If it's something that they're trying to do pero mali talaga siya, I also call out and ask if somebody also is off frame, kung okay lang sila, kung may nangyari. So that is also why ideally sana nakabukas yung video. To also somehow check. Yes. But you can
switch off.
Mm-hmm.
Kung nahihiya. Actually, while we were doing the ecstatic dance, I was thinking of that. Parang, oh my God, can I turn off the video? So you have your weekly classes, tama ba? Every Saturday, what's this?
Yeah, so that's Saturdays at 2 p.m. And so far, because I have a full-time corp job and other sideline passion projects, for now, Saturdays 2 p.m. I'll be there if you feel like doing Kundalini Yoga. But I'm also planning to hold a sound healing nights on the new moons and the full moons for those who just want sound healing. So that's either with a gong bath, Tibetan singing bowls, or the crystal quartz bowls, and then followed by a guided meditation. And that's going to be in the evening. So I'm still plotting that out. I'll let you know.
If they want to book a private class, one-on-one, or maybe a group of friends want their own private class, pwede ba yun?
Siyempre, pwede. I would love that and welcome that, because if it's a private class, you can tell me what your concerns are, and then pwede nating i-customize kung anong kailangan mo. Yung iba gustong mas relax, so like what you mentioned, meditation for a calm heart. Yung iba naghahanap talaga ng workout, so I can give them Nabi Kriya, which focuses on core strengthening. So like that. And the others naman, I want prosperity meditation. So we have several prosperity meditations as well. So that's what's nice. And you can just find me on Facebook, The Healing Haven, and I'm there. And also Instagram pala, The Healing Haven PH.
How did you become a Kundalini yoga teacher?
I actually broke down from my other corporate job. My immune system was so low, I got dengue. And it was a stage 2 dengue. I needed a platelet transfusion. It was a bit medyo malapit na sa critical. And at that time, during my convalescence, after na-release na ako ng hospital, my boyfriend, now husband, his cousin, was nagde-declutter lang siya. And Kundalini Yoga book fell on my lap. And so during my recuperation, I was practicing Kundalini on my own through sa libro lang. And like what they say, when the what do you call this? When the student is ready, the teacher will come, and that's what happened. A few months later, I met Harnad, so she's my Kundalini Yoga mentor, one of my mentors. First time to try it was with her. Yon. And I knew already from the start, after that class, it hit me so powerfully that even nung gabi, after I had my first class, I meditated, I held my son, and then I had the flashback of a previous life with my connection with my son. So anyway, it was very powerful and overwhelming for me. So yeah, I haven't looked back since.
Wow, very beautiful story. And very, yung start mo, no? It's literally one of those, it fell on your lap kind of things.
Mm-hmm. Meant to be serendipity, but I guess guided by faith.
That's true. That's true.
But you had to go through a lot of trainings.
Yes, the Kundalini Yoga teacher training is 220 hours for level 1, and I did it as an immersion, which is like a full month. I took it in Bali, and yeah, it was pretty much boot camp. And I'm continuing my level 2 Kundalini Yoga teacher training as we speak. So there's 5 modules to complete for level 2.
And how many levels are there?
So there's up until the 2nd level, but the 2nd level you have to do it segment by segment. So it's segmented into 5 parts, 5 modules.
Okay. Well, good luck. How much is a class if they want to join your class? How much is a session? Is it or Kundalini class?
Yeah. So the community Kundalini Yoga classes are at 350. So that's with everybody. Saturdays at 2 p.m. Pero if you want a private, it's a different rate for that, and we can even customize according to what you need in your life. Yeah.
Sounds very good. For people na stressed, especially for people who've been cooped up sa bahay, for such a long time, you want some form of release. This is one way to definitely do it. And aside from the physical benefits, obviously there's the mental aspect na matutulungan kayo if you're dealing with something as well mentally because of the isolation from a lot of your loved ones during this lockdown. How can they find you again on social media, Eauaua?
So I'm at Healing Haven PH on Facebook, and then on Instagram it's at The Healing Haven PH.
Excellent. And I'm sure Nana will again be joining your Saturday class.
Yeah, sinabi ko na.
Nice. Is she a regular now?
You do as well, Eric. You're very much invited.
Thank you. I'll start limber up. Get ready. I'll let you know. But it sounds very interesting. I've never tried Kundalini Yoga, so I'm looking forward to trying out one of your classes very, very soon. Thank you for the invitation. Again, check out Healing Haven, Kundalini Yoga teacher Eauaua De Leon. Thank you for being on the show. Really appreciate it. Beautiful talk and really opened up our eyes to what Kundalini Yoga is all about. We will take a quick break. Babalik ang Gearbox right after these.
Kasalukuyang mang nasa clinical trial.
Thank you, Eauaua.
Permisong gamitin sa pasyenteng tinamaan ng COVID-19.
Allowed naman po yan, basta nabigyan po ng approval ng ating Food and Drug Administration, yung ospital at yung mga doktor na pwede pong gumamit ito under compassionate use.
Eksperto, binigyang linaw ang tungkol sa compassionate use na ito.
Ang compassionate use ay binibigay lang ng FDA habang itong produkto po ay wala pang registration sa ating bansa.
Kasabay nito, resulta ng pag-aaral sa ivermectin ay hinihintay pa rin.
Maganda po na magkaroon tayo ng karanasan para makita po natin na tayo ba ay paano mag-respond sa gamot na ito. Meron ba tayong mga side effect na maaaring hindi nakita sa ibang bansa? Maganda po yun na impormasyon na pwedeng maging resulta ng pag-aaral na ito.
Kailan kaya mabibigyang konklusyon ang bunga ng clinical trial? Igagawad ba ng FDA ang permanenteng pahintulot sa paggamit ng ivermectin para sa mga pasyenteng may COVID-19? Sabay-sabay nating sundan ang mga susunod na kaganapan. Aktibo sa pag-uulat. Radyo Pilipinas.
Turn up the headlines. Turn up the headlines. Tumutok na sa Gearbox dito sa
Welcome back to Gearbox sa Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM. We're about to wrap up the show. Thanks very much to our guests today. Maiko Villa from Honda Cars Philippines. Nana, nasagot na sana yung katanungan mo and konting hinanakit mo about the jazz being discontinued, ano?
Nalabas ko na sobrang saya na nakausap ko na yung mga taga-Honda at nasabi ko na ang aking mga sama ng loob. Pero I think makaka-move on na ako. Kasi ang dami ko ring nalaman tungkol sa Honda Hatchback City, di ba? So, I think okay na.
And then Eauaua De Leon, very interesting look at a different type of yoga, Kundalini Yoga. At nag-uusap nga kami ni Nana off the air kanina. She's saying that it's really a different type. So if you haven't tried it out, I'm interested because I've tried a few and now I want to see what this offers itong Kundalini Yoga. No?
You just have to keep an open mind.
Of course. I always want to try out new things. So this is something I look forward to trying out really, really soon with Eauaua De Leon. Thank you very much to Eauaua and Healing Haven for being on the show. And also, of course, maraming salamat sa ating production crew, Roger Cruz, Marvin Toledana, F. Gaitos for putting together this show, making it possible, again, connecting us from different parts of NCR and even NCR Plus para to put together Gearbox every Thursday, 5 to 7 p.m. We will be back again next week. Thank you for being with us today. For Nana, I'm Eric. We'll turn it back to the studios for the news break.
Todo na ang silinyador, forward, and speed up with Gearbox sa Radyo Pilipinas 738 AM.
We know you're always on the go. Pero ang mahuli sa balita is